Alright, what's up y'all, it's Lakerfan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we got the 100k Q&A with Facecam. I'm gonna try and do this all in one take just like the music, but listen, for anybody who's new to the Facecam videos or anything like that, whether it's the 50k Q&A that you missed from months ago, or we got the freestyle that I did from like probably 3 months ago, or the song that I dropped yesterday, Trenches, if you want to check that out, feel free to, man, because a lot of people, you guys have missed the Q&As and you missed the face cams and all types of stuff like that, and there's people mad confused and mad surprised when they see the face cam stuff. And let's just get out of the way. Obviously this hair color and whatnot, they're mad surprised. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this one to 800 likes in the first 24 hours. And isn't this so interesting to see the intro done with actual face cam as well? But listen, as you can see right here, we got the YouTube community post. This is where everybody left their comments on the YouTube side of things. And then I also tweeted and asked for the exact same thing. So we're going to go over the Twitter after we get through the YouTube. And then I have my own notes right here for things that weren't touched on. And just to clarify, I only skimmed through the comments. I didn't exactly read them all. So everything that you're hearing isn't a predetermined answer or anything like that. I haven't just made up the answer in my mind before I recorded the video or anything like that. A lot of the stuff that you're gonna hear is genuine and not predetermined and not pre-thought. So anyway, hope y'all enjoy. We're gonna get straight into this. So from top to bottom, I didn't sort these or anything either. They're all just kind of in their own order. How do you feel about YouTube and this being your job? All right, so listen, I know I said I wasn't going to do any cuts in this, but I already had one thing that I really wanted to mention. So I was playing twos with Nut earlier, for those who don't know, just another 2K YouTuber as well. And I was having this talk, and I was realizing to myself, like, if somebody handed me $1 million today and told me I could just quit my job, it's crazy because I would still do it. I still would do this for free, honestly, on top of that, because I love what I'm doing, and it's a lot more to it than just the money and the monetary reasons and stuff like that. Granted, this is the future that I'm trying to build toward, and I do love what comes with it when it comes to the financial side as well. But again, it's really crazy because this was my moment of zen and my moment of clarity that really I would be doing this stuff even if I didn't have any money incentive or anything to be working for in terms of a job. So to transition to our next question that I was just going to talk about, what was your career path before YouTube? What was your job when you first started doing YouTube? So I'm going to take you guys all the way back to the beginning. I turned 16, boom, get my first job, Panera bread on the sandwich line. I thought I was hot for making $8 an hour. Just, you guys know the deal. And then the worst part about all of that is just the time management when it comes to school itself, sports, the job itself, hanging out with friends, making time for all of that, and just, you know, homework on top of all that, still playing 2K in general. It's a tough balance, man. If you're going through it right now, say you're 16 through 18 or something like that, or you're in college, or you've been through it and you know exactly what I'm talking about, you guys know the grind. Anyway, career path before YouTube. I honestly didn't even have a career path because when I started YouTube, I was 18. So let me just give you guys the full rundown. 16 years old, quit the job when it turns to my senior year because my parents were very supportive of that. I wanted to have the most enjoyable senior year that I could, not have it cutting into my sports time or just schoolwork in general, whatever path it was going to lead me to. Anyway, quit the job when I turned like 17, and then all the way through my senior year, and then when I graduated, I started the YouTube. So I literally graduation, boom, start the YouTube. July 12th is when I started it. My birthday is on the 17th. So honestly, like the whole plan with my mom and stuff like that, we were talking about it, and it was straight up going to be when I turned 18, I was going to apply to Dick's, right? And that was going to be the first job that I got, and I was just going to be working full time there, figure out what I'm doing with college after that. And here's the whole situation, man. So honestly, the plan was, again, for me to just be working full time at Dick's, 40 hours a week, something like that, just make ends meet and, you know, start building up some money, start working toward maybe something that could lead to some, you know, career with management, wherever it is or anything like that. What's crazy about all this stuff is I didn't even get accepted. Like, they didn't even hire me in the first place. And that's honestly the biggest blessing in disguise I could have ever asked for, man, because who even knows where I'm at? So I believe in this thing called the butterfly effect, where essentially something very minor in your past could have affected your future entirely to where you're not in the situation that you're at right now. So example, if I would have got that job at Dick's, honestly, man, I don't even think I'd be in the spot that I'm at right now. Now, some people would say, well, if YouTube was your passion and something that you wanted to pursue, you would have ended up in that situation, and your talents or your passion itself would have carried you to exactly where you're at right now. Honestly, I don't even know if I believe that, man. A lot of this is based off luck. A lot of it is just, you know, being blessed with the opportunity itself. And who knows, man, if I would even pursue this YouTube stuff in the first place. So big blessing in disguise in the first place that I didn't even get that job. But anyway, now let's stay on the work topic as well. I really hope this video is not going to be like an hour long. You guys are going to know what it is, but I'm not in the first place. Anyway, let's stay with the work topic. So 2K17, everything's going really well. I get to 24K subs in the first year of doing YouTube. And then after that, 2K18 hits. Super big down spike. Like, I'm talking, I get less than 1,000 views per day. And it's just not looking very good, honestly. So I ended up working full time, but back at Panera doing like deliveries, right? And honestly, I gotta say that was a fire job for anybody who's out there looking for one. Delivery just in general is a fire job, man. People will critique that all they want, talking about like, oh, you make $7 an hour, $6 an hour. The tips are through the roof, man. But anyway, to get back to the topic, I was over here working full time for another year as well, all the way from the beginning essentially of 2K18 all the way to the beginning of 2K20. And at the beginning of 2K20, it was like a month in and I saw things were going insane. Like, I'm talking, got like hundreds of thousands of views in the first like 3 days or something like that, 4 days that I was even uploading the videos. Things were going crazy and I saw the future that could be in it. And that was the day I just decided, man, like, I'm all in on this stuff. And if I fail, then so be it, man. We're back to square one, ground zero. And I don't even think Panera would have taken me back at that point with the delivery. So it was really a commitment I had to buy into. But I saw it, man. I saw the future. I saw exactly where this moment is right now and where I could get, and manifested it. And here we are. So, on the next question. What's your way of keeping yourself motivated on YouTube? If you don't have a go-to, what are some ways that you've used in the past? Honestly, man, I don't. So, I'm going to just put it like this. The daily upload streak is what keeps me motivated for sure. When I let that thing go and let it slide, it really like demotivates me to some extent. And it's just the standard that I hold myself to. Now, I've already failed that this year. I've already let like maybe 2 or 3 videos or 2 or 3 days I've missed the daily uploads. And, you know, the situation we're in with 2K21 next gen, I honestly don't even think that I'm going to be able to do the daily uploads. It's just not enough content on this game in the first place. So just a warning to everybody out there who's expecting the dailies. I really don't think it's something I'm going to provide, but that does not mean I'm going to slack off entirely. If anything, it just means I'm going to go daily as long as I can, and then when it fades, I'm probably going to cut back to once every 2 days or something like that. But yeah, definitely what keeps me motivated on the YouTube is the daily upload streaks. That is 100% the biggest motivation. Other than that, it's the fact that I know y'all are watching, and then obviously the money as well is something that is also the motivation. I mean, like I said in, you know, the previous questions, this is the career right here that I'm working toward. So next question, parents' thoughts on you doing YouTube. I gotta say, man, they're super supportive. I couldn't ask for a better situation, honestly, and I'm blessed. I'm straight up blessed to have the parents that I have, as far as not only their support of my YouTube as well, but on top of that, just how well they've taught me in this world, in this life in general, and, you know, just the love and support that I've got from them. I know they're both watching this. They both be watching the videos. My dad was telling me that he watched the 100K stream, and you know, just the me breaking down and stuff like that, and just all this stuff. And my mom watches almost every video as well and lets me know that as well. So it's really good to have them both being so supportive, and it really does motivate me on top of that as well. And me and my mom talk all the time about the results of the YouTube stuff and just how the analytics are going and stuff like that. She could really be my manager if we're being real, if everything like this blows up. So for the next question, with all this stuff happening in the outside world, politics, C-word, etc., how have you been able to stay focused on your grind? I gotta say, with the C-word, and it's just YouTube reasons, I'm not saying this out loud, but with the C-word situation, honestly, my life has not been affected by it at all. I'm super isolated. You could make the case that I'm like a loner, I guess, and it's all by choice. Like, this is my job. This is like what I work toward and what I strive for and what I love. So honestly, the whole situation of being on lockdown or just, you know, having to stay inside, not be socializing too much, honestly, it didn't affect me too much. Like, and it still hasn't affected me at all, really. The only thing that changes is like maybe, I don't even know, nothing really at all, to be completely honest with y'all. But anyway, other than that, I mean, the politics and stuff like that, honestly, I don't let it affect my just day in general. It definitely has an impact on my thoughts and stuff like that, and it's actually helped me with the music a little bit. And, you know, honestly, you guys have seen it if you've seen it, but the politically driven music and stuff like that, it's just a cope for me. And, you know, I kind of enjoy being able to speak the world's struggles and, you know, put it into music form, if you will. So all this stuff, it really hasn't had any negative impact on me, whether it comes to the YouTube channel, life in general. You know, it is what it is, man. So next up, what's your advice to someone trying to grow on YouTube? So the way that I came up, this is really cool that I can tell all these stories too. I'm glad for all these great questions. So for the YouTube and 2K in specific that he asked, the way I came up in 2K16, man, it was very original. So I had this copy and paste message that I had on Xbox, like the app, right? And I would load up the park. I would load up the little dashboard or whatever you want to call it that shows all the players in your park or whatever. And I would go one by one, put that copy and paste message in, and did that all the way up to 800 subs, right? And that's how I got my initial viewership. And then it was at the end of 2K16, so that was a great timing because the end of 2K16 allowed me to get those 800 subs. And then going into 2K17, I did tutorials and stuff like that. I'm gonna just put it like this, man. Any type of content is good content when you're small. Now, for somebody like me, what I've come to realize is tutorial videos and stuff like that, and just things that don't really speak to my subscribers as much, it kind of weighs my channel down a little bit. But when you have nothing to lose and all you got is like 800 subs, honestly, man, any type of content is good content. Like, I know a lot of people will say quantity or quality over quantity, but honestly, man, quantity is super important when you're at a low sub count. And as many people as you can reach and as many people you can self-promote to or just make a ton of videos that are searchable is the key. That's 100% the key, man. So the next question is essentially the same thing on the tail end right here. What are some ways to grow a new YouTube channel? P.S. Congrats on your success this year and continue to be great. Appreciate you, man. But what made you want to become a YouTuber? Now, listen, this is going to be a controversial answer. A lot of people aren't going to like my answer here, but it is what it is. Pretty Boy Fredo 100% was what motivated me to start this YouTube stuff. I remember back in 2K16 when he was the most popular YouTuber on this 2K scene, and he was blowing up like crazy. Honestly, he probably motivated a lot of people in this community. But again, I know it's not a popular answer with how a lot of people in the community just dislike him in general, but it is what it is. Anyway, 100% he's what motivated me when it comes to this 2K YouTube stuff. I remember I was like doing that messaging stuff that I'm talking about at the beginning of, the end of 2K16, and I was over here watching his streams. This dude was gaining like 4K subs in 2 hours worth of streams while I gained like 10 subs in that same 4 hours. So honestly, it's crazy, man, but it is what it is. Like I said, he's the one that motivated me, and I'm glad for it too, because straight up, he was a great inspiration when it comes to the early stages of my YouTube. Anyway, moving along. Why is your content revolved around showing others what's good and bad in 2K rather than how everybody does best jumper and best builds, etc.? Honestly, I don't even know. Maybe it's because I am the big man and I had to find a way to kind of revolve around actual content like this rather than to be just showing people the best jumper, best build, etc. Because flat out, I understood that there was definitely an audience for this big man community, right? And for sure, like, there's plenty of bigs out there, and that's just how it is. And a lot of you guys also want to learn how to get better and stuff like that too. Now, this game is very different in that sense, so it is what it is. Honestly, I understand that it doesn't exactly revolve around positional and like point guard, center, etc., stuff like that, but I've always known there's an audience for this big man stuff, and there's also an audience for people who want to get better, straight up, like tutorials or just in general the comp gameplay, showing you guys breakdowns of like what I do and how to be better at it as well. Why don't you play PlayStation? Honestly, it's just how this console stuff worked. I had a 360 all the way back in the day, and just transferred over to the Xbox One, Xbox One X that we have right here as well. So honestly, it is what it is. I've just been an Xbox my whole life, and that's just how it's always going to be. My friends, my family, they're the ones that are on this stuff, and the games that I enjoy, like Halo as well. It just is what it is, Anyway, moving on to the next one. What made you become a Laker fan? You're from up north. I know that from 50K Q&A, not live stream, but anyway. So next question. What made you become a Laker fan? You're from up north. I know that from the 50K Q&A, not live stream. But anyway, what made you become a Laker fan? So it's crazy, man. NBA Live 10 demo. I remember this. That's when I got into basketball games in general. NBA Live was really good back in 10. But anyway, as far as what got me into being a Laker fan, the NBA Live demo, it was the Lakers and the Magic. So I always tell people this, like either way I would have ended up hating Dwight Howard. That was what I said before this year. Now, all love to him for coming back and making right with all this stuff right here. Nothing but love to Dwight anymore. But honestly, it's crazy because like he left the Magic, then left the Lakers. So either way, it would have been that exact same situation. And it would have been a real tough scene if I had become a Magic fan, honestly, man, because they've been down bad. But honestly, what's crazy is I hopped on the Lakers bandwagon essentially right back in like 2009 because this was NBA Live 10. Either way, you get the deal. Lakers 2009 bandwagons when I hopped on that, right? And I've stuck with it all the way since. Never gonna change up or anything like that. That's just wrong to be hopping, team hopping and stuff like that. But it's been some tough years, man. And I'm glad that LeBron was able to come over here and help things out as well. And I gotta say, it was some joy to finally experience a finals win since I started watching this basketball stuff in general, or just success anyway in general. But moving along, what do you plan to do after YouTube or when you get sick of 2K? Honestly, I don't really know because, I'm just living in the moment as it is. But if I ever do completely move on from 2K, which is highly unlikely in the first place, but if I ever do move on from it, whether it's just the YouTube in general or just 2K specifically, honestly, and I hate to answer this because I don't like to think like plan B. I don't like to think, just whatever's over here instead of like right in front of me. But coaching is something that I've always wanted to do, whether it's basketball, football. Honestly, I've seen dudes like Coach Daniel on YouTube, super fire, like breakdowns of exactly what I do on 2K, but in real life basketball. Would love to do that, 100%. For sure. That's a big passion of mine, that if I weren't doing 2K, it would definitely be something like that. Or some other gaming situation like, say, the Halo stuff. I'm actually thinking about making a second channel as well. So, and essentially for uploading content like that, Halo games and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna like name it or anything like that, but definitely on the lookout for that. I feel my defense could be a lot better. Can you explain? We're not gonna talk about that. Just so y'all are clear, I don't really want to be talking about too much 2K questions or anything like that, but we'll address them if it's worth talking about. What made you not give up when you wasn't gaining subs or having many people in your stream? Honestly, man, I don't really know. I guess the big picture, because I've always been super into this stuff, right? Like, I never gave up entirely, but I definitely had to fade away from it a little bit because the full-time job and just life in general had cut into it. So it was what it was. I mean, my time was a little bit more distracted when it comes to that situation. But what made me not give up? I don't even know, man. I guess, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't have the answer to that question other than, success, it really motivates you. And to get even the smallest glimpse of success in the first place is super motivating. So honestly, if I had to give an answer, what really motivated me to not give up was what I already had experienced in 2K17. Honestly, probably that's what the answer is, where I knew what the success tasted like and felt like, but I hadn't had it anymore, and I knew I could get back to there if I just kept trying, but it took a while, man. It definitely took a while. How you been doing with the C word? It's tough on everybody, just checking in, and have you had enough water? Yes, I got it right here. But as far as how the C word stuff has been going on for me, honestly, like I said, I mean, we talked about this earlier. It really hasn't affected me too much. And then again, repeat question. Oh, I guess, okay, so this is a little bit different. Can we expect to see you come into PlayStation in the near future or do any wagers? So the wagers, I'm going to just go ahead and put no and no to both these answers, because in the first place, these PS5s are super hard to get a hold of. Same with the Xboxes in general. So for what I have, it's obviously the most effective. And then as far as the wager stuff, man, I'm not a big fan of putting up real money on the game in the first place. If it were 3v3, I feel comfortable doing that. But 2v2, man, anybody can win that at any given day, and it's never about the better player. So that's just how I see it, man. Anyway, next question. How do you deal with rage? You look like a calm person. Honestly, I really do not rage on 2K very much at all. That's just kind of how it is. Honestly, I feel like the reason I don't rage too much is because I know it's a situation where I'm playing with a teammate and stuff like that. We're communicating really well at all times, and we're like super into this stuff together. Like, we all know how each other play and stuff like that, whether it be 2v2, 3v3, Team Pro-Am, stuff like that. I do be raging on Team Pro-Am, I'm not gonna lie. That's just because it's the heat of the moment in general. And honestly, it's not even rage, it's just like passionate communication, if you will. And I'll never call anybody out. I think the biggest thing of why I never rage or anything like that, I A, don't want to make it a worse experience for whoever I'm playing with, and then B, I'm never going to call anybody out by name and like say they completely screwed up and like blah blah blah, this, that, and the other, like raging at my teammates. It's never going to happen. That's just not me. I don't know. That's how I am as a person. I guess that's the answer to that question, honestly. But how do I deal with it? I don't know. I mean, rage, I guess. Like, in a situation where I am going to be in some rage mode, I guess you just let it all out, really. I mean, there's no way to deal with the rage, really. You don't just suppress it and like keep it in. It just happens. Anyway, what are your thoughts on 2K21 Next Gen in the community? I think the community is something that is growing on me. I'm not going to lie. Back in 17, I didn't mess with this 2K community and the content creators and stuff like that. I was super isolated and super to myself, but I gotta say, it's been really cool to make friends with a lot of these guys. And, kind of, I've never collaborated as much as I, would think that I would or anything like that. But it's kind of on purpose, honestly. Like, the only people I've really collaborated with are Joe and Nut. And that's just how it is, man. I mean, it is what it is. Like, a lot of these PS5 guys, I have good communication and good ties with them, but we're never going to play together. That's just kind of how it is. And I got my own boys, too. So that's why that happens. But thoughts on 2K21? I think it's a good game. It just could use some work, and they're getting there as well. So I think it's definitely nice to see the improvement, especially at the rapid rate that they're doing it in the first place. What do you think about next gen? Okay, yeah, again, we already talked about that, so gonna go ahead and move along. All right, so for this next question, I had to get this for y'all. Have you ever hooped IRL? So I played through middle school, high school, and I got this picture for y'all. This is actually gonna be hilarious. Now, I don't know if you're gonna see this very well, but this is my high school basketball. I think this was my, let me think. I think my sophomore year, freshman year maybe even. I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, I played from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and then I didn't play my senior year because track is my main sport. It's 100% what I'm best at. High jump. I'm 5'9" myself, but I jump 6 foot as far as the high jump goes. For anybody who knows, you know what that means. But anyway, yeah, track is my main sport. So in my senior year, I pretty much just focused solely on that. No more football, no more basketball, anything like that. And it was all in on track. I was hoping that things would go really well, but I ended up having this injury that was really bad with my ankle, and it still lasts today. Like, it's just bad. Anyway, whole point is, yeah, I did hoop. I was solid. It was just, you know, bench player. It is what it is. And a lot of people, you guys will hear that, but trust me, man, I played on some really good teams. Like, these dudes are legit. Like, I'm talking 6'4" guards, like, was what I was going against. And I'm a 5'9", like, dude who had the skill sets of a shooting guard, but, like, you know, not necessarily the handles of a PG, yet I had the height of a point guard, so it's kind of just like, if that even, like, I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, the PGs on my high school team were literally like 6'1", 6'2", shooting guards, like 6'4"-ish, like, crazy. I even had like 6'9" bigs and stuff like that were hooping on the team, so it was legit, man. And honestly, I have no shame in riding the bench on a team like that. It was a fun experience too, for sure. If you didn't have YouTube, what would you do for a living? Honestly, you know, I thought this is a repeat question, but this is a great question, man. I really don't know the answer to it. I feel like I'd be pursuing coaching right now. That's for sure what I feel like my pursuit would go to. But honestly, for a living, like, before I would even make it as a coach, I have no clue. Honestly, I'd probably just be, you know, working full time at Panera still and making ends meet while still pursuing the YouTube stuff, or not YouTube, the coaching stuff as passionately as I could, man. So we got a question from Thunder God here. Appreciate my boy. He's low key getting to that 1 year membership right here. What is this? Yeah, 8 months right here. Crazy, man. But anyway, congrats on 100K, kid. My questions are: why does your player only wear the Air Jordan 12s every year? It's like that. And 2, Shaq and Kobe or LeBron and LeBrow? AD. Gotta be Shaq and Kobe. Actually, you know what? Technically, I never watched the duo of these two. For me, it's Kobe and Pau is my favorite duo. And I don't know, truth be told, I don't know. Just because Kobe's in it, it's gotta be Kobe and Shaq. But as far as my own watching experience, it's only been LeBron. And why does it throw me off so much? I actually am about to call him LeBrow. LeBron and AD. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. That one's tough to answer. And why does my player only wear 12s? I don't know, man. It's just my favorite shoe, and I just love the look of it. And it's so customizable, man. It's like the white and like secondary color, or black and secondary color. It just works with everything. I just love it, man. I don't know. I should get a pair of 12s myself, like in real life. And you know what? That was another question that I had on my notes, was just like style and stuff. So we're just gonna take a little detour right here and talk about this. I hope y'all enjoying the video too. I don't know how many people are gonna watch all the way through this thing, but if you made it to this intermission point where I'm talking about right here, what do we want to put in the comments? Put 12 in the comments, just for the 12s mentioned. But as far as my style in real life, I mean, you can see I'm wearing some J. Cole merch right here. It's actually reversed because I had to flip the screen horizontally. It just says Cole World. But honestly, as far as my style, I have one pair of shoes. It's just some Forces, some all white Forces. That's literally what it is. And then other than that, I have like a pair of running shoes, I guess. But honestly, man, like, I'm never gonna be big on like watches, like crazy expensive cars, etc., like expensive vacations and whatnot, like, you know, Louis and Gucci and just all types of stuff like that. No matter how much money I have or anything like that, I don't care about people's opinions. I don't care about, you know, impressing people with style or anything like that. What I care about impressing people with is my intuition, my I guess energy, if you will, or just vibes, like positive vibes and motivational aspect, if you will. So As far as me trying to impress people with my style, never something I care about personally. And that's why, I really don't have a pair of 12s. I don't have like anything like that. And a lot of people will say they spend it and, buy clothes for their own enjoyment. That's something I can understand. 12s are something I would love to have IRL. And maybe I could get some custom hookups. But you guys know the 12s I'd be wearing on my player with it's like the teal blue looking. I think it's like the Gamma 12s or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the true terminology of it. But anyway, moving along, because this video is going to take like 50 minutes. What was your final GPA in high school? I honestly don't know. It was probably something around like 2.3, 2.5, 2.8, something like that. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know. And I wasn't really the brightest kid in the world, but I know what I bring to the table as far as my own world understanding. Like, I'm not going to say street smart. Like, it sounds like whack for a little white boy like me to say that. But look, I'm going to just put it like this. I feel like I'm way more street smart than book smart. That's just kind of how it is. Or just life smart. I'm going to just put it like that. Not really a question trying to get all the people with the voices to advocate. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get you. Honestly, that is a good point, though. You really should be able to have a little veto aspect when it comes to the rec. I know you said in the 50K Q&A that you plan on getting your own place with better Wi-Fi. So when do you see that happening? I'm not going to lie. I don't really know. It was mostly going to depend on this situation right here, like next gen, of how much the game was going to blow my channel up and like the monetary aspect of that. So I don't really know, man. It's probably not going to happen right now. I would say maybe within a year or two, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. Can we see vlogs, challenges, or other games on your channel? Not this one. I would 100% bet you I'm not going to do any vlogs or challenges or anything like that on this channel. Maybe I'll make a second one. I'm not exactly sure. For right now, don't expect anything like this, but who knows, man? I mean, maybe when like, it depends on if I can make it big. Like if we're talking 200, 300K on this channel, then yeah, you might see something like that. But I don't live an interesting enough life for vlogs, man. Like this is me. This is what I do. I game. Like it is what it is. Streaming, that's something you guys might see more of. But vlogs and stuff like that and challenges, nah. That's just not even me. That's too Hollywood in the first place too. Like if I got some fine girl or something like that on top of that, I still wouldn't even want to do stuff like this where I'm not gonna be flexing whatnot and all that and just I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's not something I'm really interested in. What made you embrace the big man role? Okay, so check this out. All my life of playing 2K, I was actually a guard, right? Before I hopped on the YouTube. For whatever reason, and even when I started the YouTube, I was still a PG for the end of 16 and the beginning of 17. So all the way back to 2K11, guard, 12, guard, 13, guard, 14, guard, 15, guard, 16, guard, beginning of 17, guard. And then I made the demigod athletic, and that's what people loved on the YouTube, so I just roll with it, man. And it is what it is. This is like what molded me. It's crazy, like that. All that stuff started in 17 with the athletic, man. It really is insane. All right, so next one, just a little statement. Congrats on 100K, bro. You worked hard for it, and I've been seeing it for the year that I've been subbed. Proud, man. You earned it. Appreciate you, man. Even though you got the Celtics logo, but actually, it's funny. The Celtics are probably my second or third favorite team. It's honestly insane, but. Anyway, moving along. Thoughts on the 2K community? We've already talked about this. I mess with a lot of these guys now. Didn't used to back in 17, but now that I've been able to see it from the scope of like a bigger creator, definitely mess with this community. I love it, man. Like I love what we've built around here with the creators and stuff. Do you like any other sports? Oh yeah, football is my main love. Honestly, man, like it's crazy. If I had a better build, like y'all see me, like it's not anything too crazy. And we'll talk about the fitness stuff too. I didn't want to mention that as well. I mentioned that in my personal notes, but as far as my love of football, man, it's insane. Like you can see what's behind me. You got a picture of Teddy right here. Got a football thing up there as well. Some Vikings as well, and just the whole purple wall. I mean, bro, like everything around me, I got so many decorations of the Lakers and Vikings as well, man. So I gotta say, football is my main love. Basketball is like a very close second though, and then other than that, like I said, track is my main performance sport, like what I was best at, so what I enjoyed the most, performing myself. But as far as watching, yeah, football and basketball rule as far as my love of the sports. What made you like the Lakers and Kobe, and if you had one wish, what would you use it on? Oh, that's a good one. If I had one wish, what would I use it on? Honestly, man, continued success in the realm that I have right now. This is the life that I love and I enjoy everything about it, man. So, if I could do it for the rest of my time living, I would love it, man. And honestly, even at that, if I somehow found a way to like transition into the coaching and stuff in my older years, I would love that as well. That'd be something I would wish for as well. I guess just in a broad sense, wish for happiness that I'm feeling right now for as long as I live. That's the major key. It's not, wishing for some girl or anything like that. I had times, man. Let's just talk about this. I had times that I prayed to God for like this like girl in my life or anything like that, and I'm never going back to that situation, man. These girls are not worth your time, and maybe we'll talk about that later in the video as well. But I'm selectively to me right now. Like all my time is focused on me and my grind, and I love what I do. So there's no point in me distracting myself anymore. That's what I've 100% realized. And maybe some of you guys can resonate with that as well. But I don't know. I don't really exactly live a normal life like in comparison to the typical person. So for myself though, definitely I'm selective with my time, and I want to spend it with myself. That's just kind of how it is, or with family as well. So it is what it is. That was a great question though. And as far as what maybe like the Lakers and Kobe, we've already talked about that. NBA Live demo. What made you want to do Lil Big Man and be different from others? For example, in 20, when the meta was 6'9", paint beast, rebounding wing, or two-way finisher, you went blue-red finisher. So, honestly, again, I don't want to talk too much about the 2K questions, but the whole Little Big Man thing, right? Like the 6'5" pure lock that I had, or the 6'7" pure lock in current gen 2K21. And my voice is starting to go out too. But honestly, the undersized big has always been a thing of mine. In 17, it was the 7-foot athletic. Then in 19 and 18, it was the 6'11" athletic. And then in 20, 6'9" big. And honestly, I started the meta too. I would like to think the undersized thing did not catch on until later. And that was my day one build on top of that. Undersized big has always been my thing. I feel like I'm always going to be someone who values speed rather than height, and vertical rather than height in that sense. So yeah, that's definitely the reason for that. Instead of playing 2K games, what other games or even hobbies do you enjoy? Also, you talked about how you liked making music. How did you get into it, and what made you want to create it? Honestly, my inspiration comes from how much I just digested, man, and live it. Like, so much of my time is spent listening to, and inspiration is found in J. Cole, Big Sean, Logic, Montana, as far as the lyrically goes, Joyner, Kanye, Jay-Z, Trey Songz, like Chris Brown when it comes to the R&B side. I mean, honestly, man, like that's something that really got me into the music and what inspired me to go at it myself. And I felt like my talents were there as well. What y'all saw with the Trenches song, that's not my best lyrically or flow-wise. It's just flat out the best message I felt, and what I felt was right for right now to drop. But not my best song. I will 100% let you know that. I got a whole lot better planned, and it was just what I felt was right to drop right now. But anyway, other than that, other games or hobbies that I enjoy. Not really hobbies, but I enjoy playing Halo and just other games with my friends and stuff. I mean, it is what it is, like, IRLs and whatnot. Same with like Madden. I enjoy that as well. Really play with subscribers. I mean, honestly, I'm getting kind of tired of answering that question, but I guess we can speak to it. So, I mean, yes, to some extent, but at the same time, I mean, this is like every ounce of time that I spend on the game is already with this huge, massive amount of list of people that I have to play with, like from other creators like Nut and Joe to my guys that I almost don't even have time for anymore with my IRLs, or dudes like J20, TK from back in the day, Never Say Die, the BWA guys from 17, AK, Kitchen, Dope, Apollo, SK, Stealth, all this stuff down the line in the list of people that I have to play with. It's hard, man, to fit in like time to play with brand new people, but I have picked up a couple new locks as well. That's the biggest thing. If I ever pick up new people, it's going to be because I want to search for them in a long-term sense. I don't want to play with people just like one game. And if that's not the answer a lot of you guys wanted to hear, I understand it, but that's just how it is. Do you think 2K will bring back pie charts and role players? Also love your music. Appreciate you, Kevin. Do you think 2K will bring back pie charts and role players? No, not really. Honestly, they have a tendency to go away from something if they've dismounted it. I guess we'll just say that's a horrible word. But like gotten rid of it entirely, right? So whether it be the inside outside balance, that's never coming back, I can promise you. And that's just how 2K rolls. They don't bring back, like exactly stuff, if you get what I'm saying. So no, I don't think that's ever going to come back. Have you ever met J. Cole, or is that on the bucket list? Of course I've never met J. Cole, but that'd be, yeah, man, that's totally on the bucket list. Honestly, it's almost what motivates me with this music stuff in the first place, is to be able to meet dudes like Cole and Logic, the inspirations of my life, man. And just, because it's really, really disappointing that no matter how hard I grind, I'm never going to be able to meet Kobe now. That's a tough thing to deal with and like cope with, because, I mean, granted, that's something that probably never happened in the first place anyway. And the same with meeting Cole and Logic. But I don't know, man. That's definitely something that motivates me with this music stuff, is to be able to meet J. Cole one day. I mean, that's absolutely the biggest inspiration in my life, aside from Kobe and my dad in the first place. Favorite soda? I don't drink pop in the first place. So that's just my answer to that. It's all water over here, baby. How do you deal with the stress besides playing the game? Honestly, writing music. For sure. And other than, I guess, just dealing with stress, I don't know, man, just dealing with it. Like, it's hard to say, but honestly, just facing your demons and just like saying, I'm not gonna say the F word on this, but you know, just looking your demons in the face and screw you. Like, this is me, this is my time. Like, just, I don't know. I don't let the negativity get to me. And as far as dealing with stress, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say, man, because I don't live a stressful life when it comes to figuring out how to pay the bills next or anything like that. I do live a stressful life in trying to figure out what's the next video, you know, trying to a lot of pressure with how many people watch, and that I don't want to disappoint anybody either. And other than that, like I said, dealing with anxiety and stuff like that, maybe is the better word. Writing music is huge for me. I love doing that, and it's just one of my passions. Do you think 2K is a dying industry, and what would you rather play instead of it? I wouldn't rather play anything than 2K when it comes to my YouTube. Again, Halo is a game that I love to play, and Madden's a game that I love to play, and I'd love to incorporate those into my channel as well. It just doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work like that. Like, people subscribe to this channel for 2K, and it's not essentially for me. Now, maybe that would change if I did more of these face cams and stuff like that. People would come to love me rather than the game and my skills on the game, if you will, and my passion for the game. But honestly, no, I don't think it's the end of the world, man. I think we're going to be all good. I think people just need to get some time to get the game. I really don't think the game itself is that bad, honestly. Do you read all your DMs? No, not at all. I'm horrible with reading my Twitter DMs, bro. It's really awful, to be completely honest with you. Who are content creators you watch? All right, let me give a quick little shout out to some of my favorite creators. So we're not going to talk 2K, all right? Because honestly, I don't watch too much 2K. Shout out to Love Live Serve, one of my favorite channels as well. Pretty Boy Fredo, again, has been huge as far as the content I love to watch. The Pat McAfee Show, the podcast, love it. Purple FTW is just a Vikings channel that I'd be watching all the time. Shout out to Andy, if somehow he's watching this in any way possible. Other than that, man, let me load up the subscriptions real quick. We'll make a cut. All right, so I'm looking at it right here. It allows me to kind of realize that I've missed a lot of these people. So we got Brandon Walsh. That's one of my favorite channels to watch as well. Chiseled Adonis, dude, is mad funny when it comes to the NFL commentary and stuff like that. Dream, I know a lot of people are going to call me a geek for watching Minecraft, but Dream's videos are mad entertaining. David Dobrik, mess with him super heavy. Joe is one of my cooler 2K guys. Like, I enjoy watching some of his videos as well. Aside from that, I don't know. I watch some of Logic's live streams on Twitch and stuff like that. I will say Agent Davis and Duke, those guys' videos are actually mad entertaining when it comes to this 2K stuff. Yeah, aside from that, though, that's about it, honestly. I still subscribe to a lot more channels than that. And, you know, it is what it is. Like, I watch a lot more people than just that. But those are probably some of my favorites, honestly. So next question, how tall are you IRL? Can you hoop? Like I said, I'm 5'9". I'd like to think my skills are pretty solid, but honestly, I haven't even touched a basketball, like, tryhardingly, if you will, in probably like 4 or 5 years, honestly, since I stopped playing high school. So honestly, like, I'll say I can hoop. I'm not gonna be overly confident with this and be telling y'all like, oh, I'm so cold, like I'll shoot 90% from 3 if you leave me open, and I'll come like hammer on you and like dunk on you. I will say though, I can dunk at 5'9". This white dude right here. I don't know if I can anymore, honestly. Like I said, that injury really screwed me up with my ankle and stuff like that. But and the fact that I've been sitting in this chair for like 4 years now. So my shape and my my legs, I guess, just don't have the bounce that I used to. But I would like to think I could still hoop pretty solid. Oh man, order these? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. From 14 to 21. Okay, so let me think. 17 is for sure my favorite. 20 was really good, I would like to think. At least early on. 20 late kind of faded a little bit in my eyes. Like before the behind the back patch, I loved 20. Like that was probably gonna be my favorite game if they never changed it. From like the first like month or two. Aside from that though, let me think. 2K15 and 16 are pretty solid. 19 after that as well. And then I would say 21. Maybe 21 comes before 19. I don't really know. And then 14 is by far 14 and 18 are by far the worst. Like 14 sucked, man. Like people don't realize that either. But then 18 was really bad too. I would like to think that 14 was probably the worst one of them all though. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one right here because I just feel like it's not really worth mentioning. But I'll just put it like this. I think you'll be all right as long as you can adapt to like learning how to shoot. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, and I love the game. I'm shooting like 65% from 3. What's your honest opinion on next gen? Is it really worth the hype? It's not worth the hype, but it's still pretty solid. I wouldn't hate on it. What made you want to start YouTube? We already talked about that. 100K Laker, appreciate you, my guy. Will you be doing more tips and tricks videos on 2K? Because I do believe the stuff that you teach in those types of videos are useful, and it would be great if we got to see more. Much love from Canada. Appreciate you, my guy. The tips and tricks / like tutorial videos, yeah, for sure. But like things like badge tutorials and stuff like that, I'm not exactly sure the longevity on this channel of those. Maybe I'll still stick to the stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna carry on with that. How did you get the first 1K subs? We already talked about that. Essentially, the first 800. How's your fantasy team? I want to load this up and show you guys my fantasy team. Or actually, no, I'll just read it off. Well, my team absolutely sucked this week. I had Jared Goff and Zeke starting, Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown, Brown's defense, and Justin Tucker. And the only people that even put up points for me, Eckler finally came back from injury, and DeAndre Hopkins. And then I have Kelsey as well. Honestly, my team is loaded as far as the names. Like I got McCaffrey, David Johnson. I guess my quarterback's not very loaded, but either way, Eckler, Zeke, Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown, Travis Kelsey. Justin Tucker is typically very good as well. But yeah, man, I don't know. I had Odell as well when the season started, but obviously he got hurt. So honestly, my team, I'm still 7-4, I think. So I'm still doing all right. But yeah, how do you keep it 99 overall? I don't even know. I don't have a 99. What made you start YouTube? We already talked about that. How did you meet AK and your regulars? Ooh, this is a good one. So I met AK in 17. He subscribed to my channel. He was one of my first 800 subs. Actually, on top of that, he was subbed to me in 2K16, bro. It's crazy. And other than that, my regulars, Cook introduced. So how did I meet Cook? I met Cook on NBA Live demo, ironically, in like 18 or 2K18, something like that, where I was looking for people on stream to play with, and he was just in the stream, and we started hooping there. Then Cook introduced me to Kitchen, and then I don't remember how I picked up Dope. Honestly, no clue, but yeah, those are some cool backstories as to how I met those guys. You stream on Twitch? I would like to. Links in the description for anybody who wants to show love to that. Why are you built different? I don't know, man. And honestly, I know this is not what this question means, but as far as my hair and stuff, right? And like freckles, complexion, just how I act in general, as opposed to somebody who would look like me. And I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. That's how I see it, man. And you know, I could have done all types of stuff to try and like fit in and stuff like that. Meanwhile, look, I'm gonna just put it like this. I was born to be different. I already know it. I got like, you know, the red hair, the freckles, left-handed. On top of that, try and find somebody in the world who fits that mold right there. It's gonna be very slim. I'm gonna put it like that. So I already knew I was made to be different in this world. All right, this one's pretty funny, but honestly, I do miss it a little bit. It was some cheap food, man. Like, and I'm not gonna say cheap because this is mad expensive, but because it even says overpriced right here. But it was like, you know, half off discount when I was working there, and I do miss it, man, big time. Like to be able to just eat some mac from Panera or like the tortellini and stuff like that. Oh, that was fire. And then like the bakery items they had back in the day too. Oh man, I do miss it a little bit, but it is what it is. I don't necessarily miss working there, but like I said, the delivery stuff is really not that bad. How's your life? I love it right now. pretty simple answer to that. What is your opinion on YouTube and how the current backlashes they've faced? I don't know what backlashes they faced recently, but honestly, man, I love YouTube as a platform. They've advanced in such a massive way, but what I don't like is how algorithm based, and like how just it feels like you have to fit the mold of what YouTube wants you to be instead of being yourself. And it really is frustrating in that sense. And just the fact that, like, you know, like, I'm gonna just put it like this, all right? So let's just say, you know, the 2K21 next gen stuff, it's been a little bit lower viewership, right? But why would that make any impact on how many views my my song gets, right? Meanwhile, I upload a freestyle when, you know, views are doing really good for me, and that thing has like 20k views now. It got like 16k views in the first day. So why should that make any impact on how many views I'm getting on this video that I just dropped, or the Q&A or anything like that did really well back then? And this one probably won't even do all that well. I don't know why, but I feel like YouTube just has this algorithm thing where they see video performance is doing really bad for this guy. All right, let's just like knock him even more. And it doesn't matter what videos I upload. It doesn't have to be 2K21 or anything like that. I just feel like viewership in general just drops when you're not doing too well. So that's my opinion on YouTube, honestly. I still love it though. Again, how tall are you? How old are you? I'm 22. I'm surprised nobody asked this until this point. Again, we already talked about this. Are you single? Yes. Honestly, look, and this is where I really wanted to talk about this, because I'm completely confident and secure in myself to be telling you guys the truth with all this stuff. And I'm gonna just put it like this. I have never been in a relationship because I feel like A, it's not something that I've longed for in the first place, and B, I feel like I kind of be shooting out of my aim. I'm gonna just put it like that. A lot of times the girls that I try and mess with are just probably out of my reach, honestly. And you know, it always results in like friendships or whatever. You know, Mr. get put in friend zone all the time. But I'm gonna just put it like this. At this point in my life, it's all about me, and it's all about my grind. It's all about my subs. It's all about my family and stuff like that too. So I'm not worried in the slightest about relationships at this point in time. The only time I would ever thought to even be in a relationship was in high school, and even at that, like, I think that stuff is just mad overrated, at least in my eyes. Again, I'm a little bit more of an introvert than a lot of people who are watching this video probably, so I understand a lot of you kind of long for relationships and depend on other people for your happiness, and that's not to knock you in any way. I'm just saying that's not me in any way, so it kind of just is what it is. What do you think is the best way to play on-ball defense in 2K21? Again, we're just going to go ahead and skip past some of these 2K questions because a lot of these are just video related. It's not something I need to answer in this. Okay, appreciate you, my guy. What's your favorite 2K of all time? Like I said, 17. Have you thought about doing Pro-Am 5v5? I've done it in 2K20. If you guys want to check that out, I think they're great videos. But yeah, definitely this year we will be on the 5v5. It's just I got to get the team together and, like, you know, get everything down to a T. Did you imagine you'd be here with 100k subs when you started your channel? When I started, not necessarily. After the first year, yes. After the next 2 years, no. It's crazy, man, like how expectations work. But yeah, when I started, didn't really know where it could go. 2K17, yeah, definitely thought 100k. 18 through 19, no, not at all. Never thought I'd see this day after the negativity and, like, you know, downslope that I faced in 2K18 and 19. And then Joseph, appreciate your message right here, my guy. Also, do you watch football? If so, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? It's hard to anticipate it wouldn't be the Chiefs. I know the Steelers are undefeated, but at the same time, the Chiefs just look different, man. Like, that AFC is for sure, I think, gonna have the Super Bowl winner. The NFC doesn't seem to have like a true powerhouse, honestly. But if I had to say from the NFC, I guess I would maybe say the Seahawks. Their defense is so weak though. And then the Saints, I just don't believe in. Packers, I'm probably just biased, but screw the Packers. Is this your only job? If not, what profession do you have? So yeah, this is my only job. So guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll to the top, and we're just gonna talk at this point. But I had some questions that I wrote down right here that I want to answer, so we're gonna get to those real quick. So I already talked about the fashion. Again, I'm not big on spending money on my clothes or anything like that, or shoes or anything, so I'm very secure in myself when it comes to that, and then I'm not trying to put on a front for anybody or impress anybody in the first place either. It's just like I'm not trying to impress you guys in the first place, honestly. How I manage my money, again, that's huge. Like, I'm big on saving. You know, again, I don't buy the Gucci and Louis and whatnot, but you know what I did buy? A desk that can raise. So listen, a lot of this stuff, look, I'm gonna put it like this: anything that I buy is something I can write off on my taxes. I'm gonna put it like that. This desk, I can do that. This chair, I can do that. This iPad, I can do that. This microphone, keyboard, monitor, audio interface, speakers, all that stuff, controller, VC, all that stuff I can write off on taxes, and I'm smart with my money. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm very, very secure in managing my money properly and making sure that I'm not spending it in a bad way. Relationship with parents, again, I gotta show mad love to my mom and dad. My mom be watching like literally every video. My dad, he's always watching the videos too. I just told him not to be watching all of them because it's like kind of embarrassing to some extent, and I already know it's not something that those guys understand in the first place with this 2K stuff. So it's like, I don't expect them to be watching, but I really do appreciate that a big amount. So next, we're going to talk about fitness and workout habits. I used to be really, really tight on like making sure I was really good in my core and, you know, building like just anywhere from here to like the abs, right? I never really cared about arms too much. This is not my frame. Like, y'all can see, like, it's not really like something that has the room for improvement in that sense. But granted, I know a lot of the fitness heads are going to be talking about like, oh, it doesn't matter what your frame is. Like, you can build muscle either way. It's just not something I care about to be building biceps or anything like that, or like my legs development, anything like that. But when I was in high school, man, my core was like on point. That was crazy. And I need to get back to getting better with the workout habits and stuff like that too. Childhood favorite games. Ooh, okay. Now, I didn't answer any of these questions in my head, so I just put that because I thought it'd be a good question. Sonic was big for me as a kid. Mario, stuff like that. Pikmin. Ridiculous, right? Let me think. What else? Like 2K was big coming up when I was like in my teens, I guess. But yeah, as a kid, definitely like Sonic, Mario. Skate was big for me when I was young. I was definitely like a little emo skater back in my day with the beanies and stuff, and like it was not a time that I want to talk about. When I say emo, I mean just like not really. I'm gonna just put it like that. But I was my own little introvert back in the day too. I'm gonna just put it like that, I guess. But I was definitely big into the skating and stuff, and even as a kid, I was really big on drums. I've always been good rhythmically and stuff like that, if that's even a word. Rhythmically. And I played Guitar Hero a lot back when I was young too. I was big into rock music back as a kid as well. But yeah, I was nasty on Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Like, I'm talking 98%, 99% on expert. I won tournaments and stuff like that as a kid, playing grown men and like, you know, just grown people in general. When I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, I was a beast at that Guitar Hero, man, and Rock Band. Oh yeah, phone, bro. I want to show y'all this too. This is what I'm talking about, materialistic things, bro. Look at this. This is what I'm rocking. I'm still using an iPhone 5. iPhone 5, bro. And I don't know, man. It's just because it's not in my convenience sake. Like, I don't think I need to be doing that and like upgrading my phone. And in the first place, I thought that this iPad right here was way more convenient anyway, as far as like being able to watch my gameplays and stuff like that in bed or anything like that, or just edit from my iPad on top of that. So I just think, I don't know, it's a little overrated in my book to be spending big money on phones and stuff like that, when I'm just going to keep on upgrading every single year based on that. So the final thing that I want to talk about is socially. So as in drinking, smoking, how often do I hang out with friends, etc. I am abstinent in every sense of that. So you can make a case I'm a really good Christian. But yeah, I've never drank, never smoked anything like that. And how often do I hang out with friends? Honestly, lately, not very often. I was living with two of my friends for the last year or so, like just rooming with both of them in this house. But honestly, I still do try my best to spend time to hang with some friends. But let's just put it like this. This C-word stuff, I accidentally said the full word. I don't even know if it matters, honestly, but I just know YouTube's been on BS with that lately. But yeah, this whole C situation has made it really tough to be hanging with friends consistently. So, and in the first place, I always thought like, oh, I'm being non-productive by hanging out with friends, like playing games, like literally me and one of my friends and my brother would be playing Mario Party still. Like bro, we're 22 years old, 23 years old, playing Mario Party like as a squad, just upstairs, like hanging out. I mean, it's just what it is, bro. But anyway, yeah, I would love to hang out with them more, but this whole situation has definitely made it to where I just got to focus on myself for now. And if they can understand that, then I really hope they do. And we'll just leave it at that. But anyway, yeah, that is everything. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties. Good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this one to 800 likes in the first 24 hours. My voice is completely gone at this point, bro. From the stream yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever it was, to the song and like recording that and stuff like that, to this video right here. It's been a hectic 3 days, but I hope y'all enjoyed this little streak of the 3 days where we've been doing a lot of this IRL content, whether it be, like I said, the face cam with the stream, the song with full, like, you know, face cam / like almost body cam, if you will. But and then, you know, this Q&A video right here. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm glad y'all can experience the real me. For anybody that doesn't know, my name is Brad too. We didn't even talk about that in this whole Q&A video. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy getting to know the real me, because like I said earlier, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not, and I'd much rather be loved for who I am, but I'm not gonna demand the respect and demand the love from anybody. I already know that's not how the world works. So I hope y'all enjoy this stuff, but if you don't, then hey, so be it. I don't know why you made it to this point in the video. Hey man, so I'm just now editing this. I can't believe this is even an hour long almost, but I just realized I forgot to leave a message for whoever made it to the very end of this video. So if you made it to the very, very end, where you hear my voice completely gone at this point, feel free to leave a comment and put Laker in the comments to show your support. You made it all the way through. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed, man. I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. Like, this was super long. We got these little mistakes that I made where I forgot Tycino's name or whatever. And then the one where my camera was flipped and this is my left hand right here for whatever reason. I don't even know why, but I flipped the camera and you can see it's literally like in reverse. But anyway, man, that's all for the video. I really do hope y'all enjoyed this. At this point, I'm almost even just stretching this out so I can get to an hour, but that's not happening. Anyway, that's all for the vid. Hope y'all enjoyed, and if you made it to the very end of the vid, put Lake in the comments to show your support me all the way through. And that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.